Okay, welcome everyone to another Wednesday night, the fundamentals to gain inner peace with your host, Coach Menachem Bernfeld. And Baruch Hashem, we're up to class number 40, and the recordings are available on menachembernfeld.com, all the past classes, and feedback is always welcome. CoachMenachem@gmail.com, and thank you all for sending in your feedback. It's really appreciated. Whatever it is, like I mentioned, the ups and downs, whatever comes up, the awareness is number one, and it's always important to become aware. Is it working? It's not working. I don't know why. Any questions are always welcome. So what we're discussing is to be able to say, I'm okay with who I am, even though I don't like it and I would like to change, but this is where I am now and I'm okay. Tonight, we're going to be discussing the impact of our words. See how important it is. What are the words that we're using in our heads? And we've spent the past few weeks realizing, becoming aware of our emotional home. What is our emotional home? No matter what it is, first to become aware of it. And even though we don't like it, that's okay. And if your emotional home is negative, to accept yourself the way it is. And it's hard to become aware of that is hard, just to see it. So that's the first step. And we're learning how to create. Last week was creating positive pictures. Before that is to set your intention. We can actually decide how we want to feel before the day starts. You wake up, you spend a few minutes just relaxing, don't run anywhere, and say, where am I? What's today's day going to look like? And I can actually decide, use the positive words, I want to be calm today. And imagine yourself, picture yourself, create that picture of your day. Whatever comes up, see yourself as calm. So it's important to be able to visualize, to imagine, and I know some people have a hard time doing that in the beginning, but with practice it works. And to see how these things come up, how you look at yourself, how you feel when you're going through your day. And it's important to see that as if it's happening already. Feel it. Just feel that calm feeling. And that's how you're gonna, hopefully, like we mentioned, sometimes it could be just for a few minutes, but if you do it over and over, you'll see the difference. So that's creating your day, setting your intention. What do I want to feel? And creating, painting. Take out your paintbrush and start painting positive pictures. You have to be able to see it. You have to be able to imagine it so that it should happen. What happens is that we usually live based on our past. From our past experiences, things that have happened, the way we look at the world. But we need to, in order to change, we have to be able to see different things. We want to maybe, see some change in our day. So we have to be able to see it happening. So that's why this practice is very important. Last week, we discussed the why Teba, which stands for what you think about, you bring about. That's why Teba. And that's really what we focus on. We also discussed the reticular activating system that we have in our brain, that it helps us focus on one thing and it filters out everything else. Like we mentioned, if you're going to catch a train, you don't see the flowers on the sides because you're too busy. And the brain, what you focus on, that's what you see. Some people can call it sometimes tunnel vision. When you're very focused on one thing, that's all you see, that's all you think about, and everything else falls away. It has a positive to it because we shouldn't get distracted. But we have to realize that what we put our focus on, that's what we're going to think about and see. So that's the why table. What you think about, you bring about, and we're trying to find some positive words to think about ourselves, and the same way what we plant is what grows. If you plant tomatoes, then usually that's what you're going to have. Tomatoes are going to grow. What happens if you don't plant anything? So sometimes you might say nothing grows, but then there's weeds and things happen by itself. Probably from your environment, things that happen in your environment. If you're not in control, if you're not aware of it, that's exactly what's going to happen. So we're becoming aware of those positive words that we want to plant in our day, how we want to feel. So basically what happens is the way we think is what we focus on, and that makes us feel a certain way. And that's exactly what we do. If we have fear for a certain thing, we usually don't do it. If our thought is not going to work, so we don't do it. So this is how it works. The CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, is they train you what your thoughts are and the actions that you take. Basically, the way you think and focus on, and the way you feel is usually what you're going to get. That's what your day is going to look like. And if we don't think about it, usually yesterday is the same as the day before, and today is the same as yesterday, because this is who I am. And it could boil down to our beliefs, what we think about ourselves. So, but there's another very important component that we're going to be discussing tonight. Not only our thoughts, not only our feelings, it's very important to hear the words that we use. What are the words that we're using? And there's an experiment. There was a doctor, his name was Dr. Yamato, and he did an experiment with water. It was many years ago. Take 2 cups of water, and to 1 cup, they said positive words like, I love you, you're lovable, thank you, just some positive words. And the other cup of water, they said negative words like hatred words, disgusting. And what they did was they froze it, and they were able to see on the molecules a difference, a very clear difference between the positive and the negative. And it's just an amazing awareness. Today, the scientists are becoming more and more aware of it, but this is something that he brought up. Not everybody believed it, but to become aware of how just a word can make a difference in the cup of water. And it's interesting, by us, before you take your drink, before we eat, we make a bracha. If we think about it, just to stop for a second before you eat, you say something positive and you eat it. It makes a difference. Now, we don't need science to tell us the right and the wrong, because we follow the Torah, obviously, but it's very important to become aware. We see it. Then when the scientists come up with it, we see it makes a difference, and it makes a difference in our health, obviously. The water that we drink, the food that we eat. Then they started doing an experiment with plants. They took 2 plants, the same plants, and they put it into a glass box, and they had a recording in them. One of them had a recording of positive words, just like, I like the way you are. Seeing you blossom makes me happy. You're making a difference in the world. Just positive. You are beautiful. And then the other one, it was negative. Nobody likes you. Nobody notices you. You are a mistake. You look rotten. Are you even alive? All of these words just into the plants. And then after, I think it was 30 days, That experiment was 30 days. Basically, one plant, again, they're getting the same water, the same sunlight, everything the same. It's just listening to those messages. The negative plants just shriveled up. And I believe they did it many times already. Now they did it in schools. They wanted to teach the kids. Took two regular plants to the same plants, and to one they say positive words, the other one they say negative words, and after a few days, you see it shriveling up. So how amazing is it if it works for water and plants? What are we humans gonna say? What should we say if these words make a difference? It definitely makes a difference for us humans and for the people around us, whether it's our kids and students, and for ourselves. It definitely does make a difference, and sometimes we don't think about it. We don't think about it, and in a way, by humans, what happens is it's too painful. So what happens when something very painful happens? So either we could shrivel up and give up, or we become very, very strong. We've discussed it many times. We become very strong and we tell ourselves, nothing will touch me. Nothing will hurt me. I am always okay. And from the outside, it looks beautiful. You have students, you see it by students, and it could be many times perfectionists. They have to get that 100 on the test. And they do everything they can to get that 100. Because if they get something less than 100, not going to work. And they work very hard. So the teachers love it, obviously. Straight A's. Isn't that amazing? But there's something missing. There's something there. You know, you have to be able to relax and chill a little bit. It's okay to get a 99. And it's not a joke. I've seen boys that are 99 that devastated. You want to say it's because they always have to get that 100. Whatever the reason is, they can't let go. They just can't let go. And everybody has that thing that we just can't let go. We have to perform. We need to show the world. Why? What happens if you don't? Then the truth comes out. What's the truth? Not always so good. People have those thoughts about themselves, the beliefs about themselves. And again, it could be very deep, subconscious, and it takes time till you become aware of it. You have to be able to really stop and see what happens if you stop doing everything you're doing. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because if I stop, then I'm going to fall apart. Everything falls apart. And it's a good way of looking. Why am I doing what I'm doing? You want to know why? Don't do it for one day. You'll see why you're doing it. And sometimes these negative thoughts come up, negative beliefs about ourselves come up. And this is where we are. This is the plants that we're talking about. So on the outside, it's become strong and it looks like we're successful, but it doesn't last too long. How long can it last? So again, important, we discussed many times, just to slow down, take some time, just sit and do nothing. You can just breathe, become aware of your thoughts, become aware of the words that you use, and start writing them down. You can journal. And if you become aware of those negative feelings, and this is the healing that we're looking for, that's okay. And start telling yourself these positive words, positive affirmations, which we've done many times. So you become aware of the words that you use, the affirmations that you use, the thoughts that you use in your head. And sometimes you can even hear it when you say it to kids. What are the words that you use? And if you think about it, during the day, how many times do you use, I love it? Something's happening, something good, I love it. Say it a few times. You feel the difference. And it makes that positive energy. I just love it. Wow, this is amazing. It's beautiful. I am so excited. You say it a few times again and again, it makes a difference. Versus if the thoughts are, it's not going to work out, you tried before, you're going to fail again, you are a failure, all of these negative words, it's the energy in the room. You can feel it and it makes a difference. So you can choose one word that you like to use. You can even say beautiful. Try to use it more often in your day. If I love it is too hard, but you can use I love it. It's like, wow, it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's working out. It's like, wow. It brings in that positive energy, and it helps to know that it makes a difference, even though we don't see it with these studies, with the water or with the plants. You might not see it, but we need to believe it, that it makes a difference. So again, when you create your intention, how you want to feel that day, and you're painting that picture, start using positive words to add to it, to add to that ingredients that we want to change. We want to feel better about ourselves, about our environment. And ultimately, it's not changing anything in our environment. Everything can be the same, but it's all the way we think about it, the words that we use, our perception, how do we look at it. And the cup is always either half full or half empty. So if you're used to seeing the half empty parts, that's okay. You're okay. But let's start looking at that half full part. Nothing changes. It's the same. It's just, where do you focus? Where do you put your eyes on? What are you thinking about? Are you grateful for the half full? So here we are. Sometimes it's hard if you're in a negative state. So that's why we mentioned that we should practice gratitudes. Just sitting and saying how grateful you are for whatever's going on. Thank you, Hashem helps. Say thank you, Hashem, more and more in your day. Feeling the gratitudes, living in that gratitude, feeling it. Then you can come up with seeing that, putting the focus on the half full cup. So that's basically the ingredients. Setting our intentions, creating the vision, our pictures, using positive words for the world around us and for ourselves, which is very important. So before we go to closing, let's do a very short affirmations, and we'll end with that. So wherever you are, stop what you're doing. If you're driving, then continue. If you want, you can stop on the side of the road and just take a deep breath and tell yourself, I'm okay, but I have so much to do. That's true, but I'm still okay. I'm okay. Take a deep breath, feel it in your body, feel where you feel tense. Your shoulders, let your shoulders fall. Feel it in your stomach, in your legs. Where do you feel tense? Breathe into it and out, in and out. It's okay. I'm okay. And it's okay to relax, to slow down. And I'm going to say a few positive affirmations. Let it sink in. I am worthy. I am loved. I am supported. I am enough. Take it all in. Breathe. Take a deep breath. I am abundant. I am protected. I am strong. I am powerful. I am fearless. I am brave. I am safe. I am lovable. I am wanted. I am beautiful. I am joyful. I am compassionate. I am patient. Take it in. Just see yourself patient, even though maybe you're not. I am patient. I am healthy. You might think about that one thing that you're not healthy about, but let's focus on everything else. I am healthy. I am resilient. I am kind. I am treasured. I am talented. I am creative. I am intelligent. I am fun. How does that make you feel? I am loving. I am confident. Just take it all in. I am grateful. I am peaceful. I am grounded. I am whole. I am unstoppable. Take a deep breath and thank Hashem for all of these things that you are. We all have it. Maybe not 100%, but we have some of it. So let's focus on the parts that we do have. Focus on what we do have, even if it's only 20%, but you still have 20% of it. Focus on that. Thank Hashem for that 20%. And just feel it. Live in that 20% for a few minutes. Why are you always living in that 80% that has to change, has to get better? And you're seeing how things have to, be different. That's the 80%, the half empty part. Let's look at the half full. On that 20%. And I know it's hard. Sometimes you tell a teacher, if a student gets a 20 on the test, what does the teacher say? I would tell them he should just positive. They actually got 2 right if it's 10 questions. They actually got 2 right. But what do you mean? Look at this. Well, the others are mistaken. He doesn't know it. He's not participating. Okay, we can talk about it. We can discuss it. But first, I needed to see what he got right. Can we first see what they got right? Can we first see what is? And from there, we can grow. But if we focus on the negativity, on the things I need to fix, I'm not happy, it's more negative and more anxiety. And it maybe works a little bit, but we want to focus on the positive sides. We want to come from what we do have, and we want to feel whole. Okay, I am okay. I am enough. I don't need to please. I don't need to do anything more to be, because I am. There's an interesting line I heard, and we'll end with this. Don't base your gratitude for your life on what you have or on how you feel, but just because you are. Just because you are. Be grateful that you are. That's it. So that's it for tonight. Again, you can put in the questions in the chat. And you can always send your feedback to coachmenachem@gmail.com. And I would like to thank you all for coming. Let me see the questions here. Thank you for this. Somebody mentioned that they did an experiment with beans in the Hebrew University, with beans moistened in water. Someone said Tehillim by one set of beans, and the beans flourished, and the other set of beans negative words, and those beans didn't grow. Amazing. Yes, it is amazing. And again, these are things that we might not see. And for us Yidden, we live, a lot of what we live is things that we don't see. Talk about Emunah and Betachon, and talk about Hashem. We're used to living with things that we don't see. It's a belief, and this is who we are. So here's another thing that we believe that it makes a difference. It makes a difference. So the next time you take a cup of water, food, you stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and just make that bracha and believe it makes a difference for many reasons, but even for what we discussed tonight, it makes a difference. The words that we use makes a difference. I will send the quote, the Mitzvah in the email. And if you get my emails, good. If not, send me an email, coachmenachem@gmail.com. And that's where I'll put the quote in Mitzvah. Thank you very much. Have a good night and have a great week, an exciting week, full of fun and positive words. If you find yourself with some negative words, that's okay. Don't get scared. Take a deep breath, accept yourself. And then from there, we go to change. Thank you. Have a great night and a great week.